Hey, Michelle with Treecat here. I am thrilled to have you watching my presentation here today, my live cast, or maybe you're watching it at a later time, but thanks for watching and make sure to give me a thumbs up and a like. I'm here every Saturday morning and I try to bring you expert insights, news, commentary, and analysis about the dynamic world of e-commerce, re-commerce, and everything in between. So let's have a little fun, kickstart our weekend. I recommend you get your beverage of choice. I've got something a little fruity today in celebration of what's coming up, which is summer. It's almost here, guys. And, you know, for a lot of people, summer is a lot, right? You got maybe you're off work for a little bit, but not a lot, right? You're still expected to get things done. You're still expected to watch your kids who might be out of school or what have you. There's just a lot more chaos, right? During summer, there's just a lot more going on. The weather's nice. You don't want to be indoors a lot. And you still have to do your reselling, right? So a couple things that I want to talk about today is a plan, because I know for summer, I do better when I have a structure, when I have a plan. And I've got some good ideas for you for this summer to streamline your processes and to get stuff done when you don't have time and you really don't feel like it, right? You want to be outside. Or maybe some of you, maybe if you live in one of the Sunbelt states and you're like, hey, I don't have kids that are going to be home. This is my time to hit it hard. I've got an idea for you as well. Okay, so first I want to talk about some other things, and that is a new segment called TLDR for resellers. And it's breaking news and information that I think is worth your time. And I think the first thing that I want everyone to follow me on this and to support me on this, because I am enjoying Depop, right? It's one of my newer platforms. But one of the things that really bothers me about Depop is you make someone an offer, or someone makes you an offer rather, and you accept their offer. They don't have to buy it. And I was like, what's going on with this? Because all the other platforms that I've ever used don't do that. And it's a waste of my time, right? To keep accepting people's offers and then they don't buy it. So I understand that Depop was testing something called binding offers. And they were testing this between February and March of this year. So it would allow our sellers to accept offers. And then once accepted, those would result in an immediate sale. Okay. Sounds reasonable, right? Nobody's getting their time wasted. And it's more sales on the platform for Depop, right? So I would like to start, and I want you guys to support me on this. I would like to start a email letter writing campaign, okay, to Depop. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to send an email to support@depop.com, or also CC feedback@depop.com. And I'm going to probably have to enlarge this. Okay. So we're going to write an email and we're going to send it to support@depop.com, and we're going to CC feedback@depop.com. Okay. And you can also post your message on Twitter and tag them with the hashtags make binding offers permanent or bring back binding offers. And the message that you're going to send to them, here's a sample letter, and you feel free to personalize this, right? But like, hey, Depop team, please make the subject is please make binding offers a permanent feature on Depop. Dear Depop team, I am a dedicated Depop user and I want to share my feedback about the binding offers feature that you recently tested. And anyways, you can basically just let them know that we as sellers value that the trust and efficiency that this feature offers, and we strongly believe that it should become a permanent feature, and it aligns with their goal of creating a vibrant, community-driven marketplace. Please consider bringing it back for good and let us know how we can support this change. Thank you for listening to our community. And then you just put your name. And that's it. Just take 2 minutes out of your day, send an email to Depop, the folks over at Depop, to let them know that this is an important feature. I don't understand how you can operate. And I know they're owned by Etsy. So hopefully someone out there that works for Etsy, that works for Depop, will see this plea of making this feature something that is permanent, because I think it will really help that particular marketplace. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Moving on, some other news. Okay, we talked about Depop. Done. Whatnot news. If you're into Whatnot, then you might want to know that they just announced a couple of days ago that they're no longer having the gifting feature. You can't gift items anymore. Okay, we're going to move on from that. So if you care about Whatnot and you care about gifting, that's unfortunate. They stopped doing that feature. All right, another piece of news that I find very fascinating, actually. I occasionally will send some of my items to ThreadUp. And I've been doing this for years. It's not a great moneymaker, and you definitely have to know what brands to send in and time things correctly. I mean, you really need to send things in like a good 2 months before the season, right? Because they have to process it all and list it all and everything like that. So I would leave yourself 2 months. Like I'm probably gonna start sending in my fall stuff like in June. So coming up soon. I've actually just recently did a spring clean out. Excuse me, like a literal spring clean out of my closet. And I'm going to be sending a huge kit. I'm going to be ordering. I'm just going to download the label and put it in a box and send it to them. That works out best for me. But they have announced that they are going to do kind of like their own marketplace. So you'll be able to list, like cross list, basically, is what I'm reading in between the lines. They're calling it direct listing. It's in beta. I just signed up for the beta. I'm excited to try it out. And there's a couple of articles about it. Here's one on Retail Dive that they're kind of trying to slash their fees and overhaul their service. And what they say here is they're broadening access to their partner network. Basically, I think they're going to be doing, you'll be able to cross list to them, and then you fulfill it like merchant fulfilled, right? So that's really interesting because that's a possible other marketplace for us to, be able to cross list to. So that's really cool. And if you want to read more about it, Women's Wear Daily had a big article about it. Just yesterday. So yeah, check that out. They're trying some new things. And I think this is an important time for them because people are leaning into secondhand, right? And the circular economy. So because of the tariffs and everything like that. And also because of their personal values and beliefs and stuff like that. So really cool stuff with ThreadUp. Now, thirdly, this is something I'm super excited about. And maybe you guys check this this blog. It's innovation.ebayinc.com. And every quarter or so, they'll post something that they're really excited about. And this was posted last month. And I kind of ignored it, but I think I'm not going to be ignoring it moving forward. So this is their app. If you're like me and you start all your listings on eBay, I usually, since I do liquidation and I already have, I get like a lot of the stuff is stuff that I've already sold. So it's replenishables, but there are quite a few one-offs that come into my through my pallets, right? And those one-offs end up going into a death pile because it's like, oh, I already have the photos for these, replenishables. And so I'll just make new listings for the replenishables. Maybe it's in a different size or something like that, or a different color. But anyways, I start my listings on eBay, and I think this is going to be an awesome way for me to tackle my death pile, because you guys probably have a death pile like I do. And so this summer, I'm going to be tackling my death pile by using this new feature in eBay, which allows you to start out by taking your photos, which I do anyways, put in the title, and then they will generate the rest of the listing. So it's kind of like an AI listing generation based off pictures and a title. So for my one-offs that I don't already have pictures for, this is what I'm going to be doing this summer. And I'll probably make some videos showing you, see if it works well. I'm very excited about it. It's definitely going to be a game changer, I think, for those of us who have death piles, who do one-offs and who want to tackle our death pile. Okay, so that's a really cool, and they're calling it their list on mobile with new simplified selling tool featuring magical listing AI technology. But basically what it is they're just allowing you to start your listing just with the picture, uploading the pictures, and putting in a title, and they'll put in the rest. How cool is that, right? They fill in all the categories and descriptions. That is a game changer, because that's what we're doing here with cross listing, right? So it's going to make my workflow so awesome. It's going to be so easy to make those one-off listings. And then, they get pulled into Treecat, and then I just cross list them. And we have a similar type of an AI situation where we based on the information, we use AI to populate the categories. And then it takes like literally no time. It's super quick, and you can do it in bulk and everything. So lots of cool stuff happening in the world of e-commerce. I think this is going to be a game changer for people who don't like listing and who have a huge death pile. So with that being said, let's move on. That's the news. That's all the news I wanted to talk about. But there's always something changing in the world of e-commerce. And that's what's so cool about it, right? If you are a person that's like a little bit ADHD like me, and you get bored easily like in a regular job, you will not get bored being a reseller. There's always something changing. There's always some new technology to learn. And it's fun and exciting. And I hope you guys are enjoying doing e-commerce as much as I am, because like, wow, it's pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about our summer game plan, guys. This is important because you need to have a strategy. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're on the younger end of things and you've got kids and summer is just chaos for you, you need a plan. If you are maybe on the other side of your career and you're retired, and maybe you just you live in a Sunbelt state and you're like, I'm not going outside. I don't need to go outside in the summer. And you're like, this is my time to really hit it hard. I've got a plan for both of you. All right, so let's talk about this. If you go to my blog.treecat.io, I talk about a 3-part plan, okay? And hopefully you can see this. Basically, what I'm going to be doing. Now, you can do whatever you want, but this is kind of like my 30-minute game plan, right? So every day I wake up, I maybe do my shipping first, and then what I do is I make sure that my Poshmark closet is set to share. So what you do is you go to Poshmark closet share. We have 3 tabs: inventory, sales, and settings. You go to settings tab and you go to Poshmark closet sharing. Now I took these off so that I could show you how to set them up. It's really easy. You basically just click quick schedule all day follower share. And then you click quick schedule nightly party share. So you can do both of these, or you can do one of them. Doesn't matter. The quick all day follower share, just if you have a lot of followers like I do, it will share your items throughout the day. It kind of sequences the shares so that it looks like a human's doing it. And it does that all day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then the nightly party share, of course, is the 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every night. And that is not just to your followers, that is to whoever is participating in the party. So now that you've clicked those 2 buttons, all you have to do to make them active is click on the little play button, and then they become active. Now, you never have to do this again. This is only something that you have to set once, and then it's done forever. But if you ever want to pause it, you just click the pause button to pause those sharings. But I don't want to pause them. I want them to run. So make sure you have that running. The second thing that I want to do is I want to automate some delist relists. So you can go into the inventory and you can go into click period, this one, and you can tell it to look for a specific a specific time frame. I say December of 2023. Let's do December 1st, and then let's do 2024. Yeah, there we go. And that'll be 31st. Okay, I'm going to select the 40 items, but take out the ones that I know I don't want to relist. And then go to main actions, and I tell it to delist relist 83 items. Now I'm going to start an immediate, or I could schedule it, right? So in the next, after, let's say 21 days, I'm going to relist these on just Mercari. I'm not doing Poshmark because Poshmark is not into this, right? They're not into letting you do delist, relist unless it's over 60 days. And we're currently putting in a 60-day parameter, but that's not finished yet. So for the meantime, we're just kind of disabling delist, relist on Poshmark until we have our 60-day thing in there. Okay, so I'm going to confirm that I want all these delist, relisted after 21 days. Okay, and then I accept it. And then it'll tell you that the action initiated. So every day you can set up as many, delist, relists as you want. And I'm just going to focus on Mercari this summer because I think there's an opportunity with Mercari since, they have the just-in type of algorithm. And you can also do it on eBay. And the cool thing with Treecat is your matches, your eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari matches that you've cross-listed, they stay together. So even if one is getting delist relisted, it'll stay matched to the other ones that are not getting delist relisted. So that's one of the things that I will do in the summer. I'm going to set up every day. I'm going to set up a delist relist campaign, as I like to call it. All right. The other thing that I think is going to be important is to cross list 5 items a day. And the cool thing about that is we we're doing tag them all. So I went into card view and I tagged them all. They haven't been cross listed yet. Tag them all with the name Black Bras 1. Okay. And that's by tagging them. All I do is I go into Treecat notes, type in my tag, and then save it, which I've already done. So now I go to fast list and I search those items. I want to search those bras that are tagged Black Bras 1. And so what I want to do is I want to use AI autofill to cross list them. And it's just a view of all, it'll be like a scrolling view of everything. So as you can see, they're just listed on eBay so far, right? Yesterday I listed these. I've not yet had a chance to cross list them. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So I go to main actions and I say autofill 8 items, right? So I'm going to use this beta, use AI autofill. And it's coming from eBay and it's going to Mercari and Poshmark. And then I click autofill. So it takes about 5 to 7 seconds per marketplace. So you can see that it's working, right? When it's done, it will let me know. And so it's already done some of the things. So I can go and I can scroll down and I can see, okay, did it get the description right? Yes. Did it get the category right? And the subcategory and the subcategory. Is there anything I want to put in? I'm going to put in a hashtag, right? I'm going to add it and then I'm going to save. Okay. So it's just a matter of it's putting in, it never puts in the original price. By the way, on Poshmark, you have to put that in. That's the one thing that you still have to put in besides the hashtags or the style tags rather. So while it's still doing its autofill on some of the ones on the lower end of the list, I'm just going and I'm checking to make sure that everything that it put in is correct. So this is really saving me a lot of time. And this is going to be great for those of you who don't want to spend a lot of time this summer doing cross-listing. This is just a really easy, quick way to do it. And there's very minimal information that you have to add. And you don't even really have to add a hashtag if you don't want to. It's not required. I do believe the original price, actually, I don't think the original price is required on Poshmark, but it does help. It's kind of like a psychological trick that they do. Like if you put in a really high priced item, it'll show this is marked down like 70% or 80% or something like that. So it's kind of a good idea to put in that information. And like say, something isn't correct. This is your opportunity to make sure that everything is correct, right? And so far, so good. Like I'm getting more and more impressed with how well the AI is learning. It's really, the more I use it, the more it learns from me. It's amazing. I mean, we're just living in some amazing times. So like, I would highly suggest that you give this a try if you haven't already, because it's actually free to people who cross-list. Well, if you're cross-listing, you're only really paying when or if something sells, right? And so all of our stuff that we offer is free for your items that are cross-listed. So like the Poshmark sharing, that's all free. If you are cross-listing your stuff with us, that's all free. And I mean, you really can't beat it. It's 50 cents per item that we take down. And as you sell more, the price gets cheaper. We're really trying to, make this work for people who are kind of like anybody who's like part-time, even up to like bigger sellers, the way we priced it. And you can go over to our Treecat.io website and you can check out our pricing, because when you get past like 140 sales a month, it goes down to 1 penny. That's all we charge. So, Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and tell it to list these 8 items. And I've already listed on eBay, so they're just getting listed on Mercari and Poshmark. Okay, I'm confirming, and it's going to tell me, okay, the action's initiated. So there you go. That's the other thing. That doesn't take very long, right? I just cross-listed 8 items and boom. And then you can go back to it later and it'll show you that they'll all be in green instead of being in red. The little, the icon, the wrapper around the icon right now is in red because it's not cross-listed on it, and it'll turn green when it is. Okay, so you're sharing your Poshmark closet daily. You're going to automate some delist relists only on eBay and Mercari every day. Do 10 of them. You're going to cross-list 5 items a day. You're going to here's what I've been doing. I've been adding a new AI photo to 5 items every day. And I did a couple of weeks back, I did a tutorial on how to do that. I use ChatGPT, and I just tell it, please, I put my photo, I attach my photo that I did on a white background. And I say, could you please put this on a model? And it does it. And you can give it more and more directions on what you want the model to look like, if it's plus size, but basically I've trained it. So it's at a point right now where I just say, I attach the photo and I press enter, and it says, would you like me to put this on a plus size model and enhance it for an e-commerce listing? And I just say yes, and it does it. It's really awesome. And that is definitely a great way to get some items refreshed. Okay. The other thing that I want to talk about is get rid of one of your dogs every day. So just take one item out of your inventory that you know is a dog that's not selling, and make that a priority this summer, because it might seem like, for me, there's a lot of items that I know I want to get rid of. They're like, because I do a lot of mix and match swimwear, and the tops sell great, but the bottoms don't. So I want to get rid of my bottoms, but it's overwhelming. So I'm going to get rid of one every day. And it's really easy to do that if you're using Treecat. All you have to do is go to your inventory and you search swim. Well, this is what whatever you're getting rid of. I'm going to search swim bottom. And then what I would do, I spelled bottom. I have such a bad speller. Okay. So I would just type in swim bottom. I have 40 of them. And then I would just say, this one, I want to delist it, right? I want to delist it, and then it'll get delisted. And then once it's done, in order for it not to show up, you put in the archive. You select an archive label and save that. Okay. And then that will make it so that it's not going to show up in your inventory. It'll show up in your archive. And I don't know if you guys know how to get to your archive, but you go to this little funnel here and you click without labels and apply that, and that'll show you everything that's in your archive. That's how that works. So get rid of one of your dogs. That's the other idea. What was the other thing that I want to talk about? Oh, and then list 5 items a day. And I am going to be listing my death pile. So I will be using eBay. I'm going to be trying out eBay's new magical listing thing, whatever they're calling their AI photo. Start with the photo and the title, and they put everything else in. I can't wait for that. Okay, let's talk about sales. You still want to drive sales in the summer. And I think a lot of these activity things, these things that you're saving time doing, your activities that you're doing, are going to help. But you also want to probably do like promotions, like I do on eBay. Promotions from Thursday. I schedule them from Thursday to Monday because that's when I'm just being really strategic about it. I get most of my sales on the weekend. So I'm going to start that promotion, and I only promote at like 2.1 or 2.2 or something. Like I promote at a really low level, but it still spikes my views and stuff like that for a couple of days. So if I do it like Thursday night, it'll start ramping up. And then by Saturday, it's at the peak, right? So that's when I'm getting maximum views. So that's how I do it, and that might work for you. You can also do markdown sales maybe during the week, or bundle deals on Poshmark. The other thing I think that is good to do is to prep for back to school. Start, prepping for what you're going to source for back to school. Like I said, you can send your fall consignment to ThreadUp in mid to late, I don't know, maybe even early June, because now that they're getting to be a bigger and bigger company, who knows if they are going to, be able to handle all the business they're getting. So give yourself a couple of months, honestly. Okay. Reorganize your closet. I did that. And maybe you want to feature your seasonal items more, or maybe focus on relisting your seasonal items. I just did some relists of bikini tops. Like I said, I sell mix and match swim. So some of my bikini tops, I refreshed the pictures on an AI model and I relisted them. And yeah, so that's just think strategically, right? Because this is the thing that people are buying in the summer is my swimsuits are my seasonal items. And the other thing to think about is acquiring other seasonal items like Christmas stuff. I've had great success acquiring ugly Christmas sweaters in the summer at the Goodwill outlets. So don't pass on some of these things that you can't sell now, but you will be able to sell in a couple months. Just a thought. Keyword, you can add new hashtags and things like that if you want. If something in your closet looks, maybe it's coquette and you want to brand it that, you can change some of your keywords. Strategy about staying lean, right? We are in kind of an uncertain economy. And there's some economic shift, there's some supply chain issues, some tariff concern, like every day it changes, right? But what you want to do is use last summer's sales to sort of guide what you're going to source, right? List more of what you already own. Like I said, we're going to tackle that death pile. It is time to do that in the summer. It really is. This is the time to do it. Pause bulk sourcing and get intentional. Yeah, really think about, well, what do I want to source right now, right? And keep 20% of your budget flexible for opportunistic finds. I like to, lastly, focus on high margin evergreen categories. That's why I like selling bras, because they tend to be evergreen. So you don't have to hustle harder to succeed this summer. You really don't. You just have to be strategic, work smarter, stay focused, and give yourself permission to adapt. So feel free to use, these great Treecat tools to help you in your journey this summer. And if you want to refresh yourself about this is my blog, and it's at blog.treecat.io, and give it a look if you want to refer to it, right? I might be looking at it to remind myself, what am I doing today? Oh yes, I'm doing this, and this. So there you go. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. And I want to know, what is one thing that you're going to change this summer? Tell me. So leave it in the comments. What's your summer strategy? Did I miss anything that you are going to be doing this summer? I just want to encourage you, to comment that if there's some good advice that the Treecat community needs to know. And finally, don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week on some Treecat Talk. Cheers. Mahalo.